It's your boy, Mr. G, and I am turning around at somebody's high school. And that's a no stopping to stand. That's an entrance in the rear. You're not supposed to be doing this. You can't go in here. What are you doing, young man? What are you doing, young man? So welcome to an empty school because it's Saturday. And this is the road to freedom, my story. And I'm going to tell you about Shorty and my last chance. So when I was 19 years old, I got an opportunity. This is really becoming like, am I supposed to be doing this? I got an opportunity to join the U.S. Army and did so. I got married at 19, had my first child at 19, and somewhere around like 20 and a half, I took my first leave. And went back to New Jersey to see my foster parents, who were, to be fair, were my only parents. For whatever reason, during that time, well, first of all, it was just weird. The whole thing was weird, because when I got back, everything in New Jersey, everything, so I'm going to show you what I mean, everything in New Jersey was ice. Everything. We had a major ice storm. Every one of these things would have been covered with ice. Every little prong. This would have had icicles dripping off of it. Every leaf was outlined and covered in ice. Everything. All of New Jersey. It was insane. And I just like kind of didn't, like, I was like, I don't know where I'm at. I mean, New Jersey gets cold, but this doesn't happen. And so the whole visit was just kind of, from beginning to end, was just kind of otherworldly. I did my stay, hung out with my friends, you know, hung out with my family, introduced, you know, my wife at the time, and my firstborn. And on my second to last day of being able to be in Jersey again, something came over me, and I said to my wife, we're going to go to Philly right now and find my dad. Except for, you got to understand that I'm doing that without actually knowing any street names in Philly, because I was a little boy and I wasn't a driver either, you know, so I didn't really know. I knew like Frankfurt Avenue, the L, and a couple places like H.A. Brown Elementary School, Kelly's Corner. Yeah, I knew how to find a railroad from there, but that was quite a hike for a walker. And that was it. So we got in my first brand new car, which was a Pontiac, which is kind of cool because they don't even make them. And nice vet, nice. ADHD all day. So we get in my car and we just go to Philly, and I try to, you know, finagle my way through Philly. No GPS at the time, whatever. This is like the 90s, early 90s or whatever, and we find Frankfurt Avenue. I find Frankfurt Avenue, and I just start using my instincts and my memories of, you know, being a little boy in that area, walking around looking for graffiti and using my Polaroid camera to take pictures of graffiti, and walking to my grandfather's or my aunts. And I get to a certain spot where I'm like, okay, I don't got much left. I feel like it's here somewhere, but I couldn't find the bar. I could not find the bar. But I felt like in my heart, like I felt like I was close, so I did what any person in Philadelphia would do. I knocked on a random stranger's door and said, yo, where's Shorty live? That guy was like, down at the corner, you turn, and it's the first house on the left. I was like, thanks, man. I walked down there. So I walk in, two guys sitting with my dad. Now, they could have been my siblings, but they basically said nothing this entire visit, so I actually didn't even think to ask. And I walk in and I say, hi, I'm Edward, I'm your son. This is my wife, and this is my firstborn child, so I thought you should know that you got a kid out there that's having kids. And my dad says, you're in the wrong spot, because I don't have a son named Edward. And then I said, that's nonsense. You have, your oldest son is named Edward, you're named Edward, I'm the third Edward in the line, plus these two gentlemen that are looking at my face are seeing your face. Everything kind of went quiet. I started to stare him down. He had no legs. Diabetes was very common then because there was no Obamacare. Nobody was getting treated medically that was poor. You have diabetes, then you cut off the limb. He had one hand. That's how you handle diabetes in the hood. Cut off the limb. And I'm looking at this decrepit old man, and that's my dad. But his face, that was me. That was my dad, no doubt. And he said a couple things into one guy's ear. I want to say he called him Mikey, but I don't remember. He kind of whispered to one guy's ear, and that guy disappeared and came back with photos. And so now I think back like, man, that was probably one of my siblings. Damn. Anyway, he's talking to me about, you must be in the service. Where do you serve? Because I had the high and tight haircut and the, the mannerisms, the chest out and the thank you, sir, and all this kind of, nonsense that you don't do anymore after you become a civilian again. And he hands me a photo, tiny photo, tiny photo, and it's of him getting his service picture taken in his hat with his high and tight haircut, and it was a black and white image that basically was like I was looking at myself in a black and white photo I had never seen. And I kind of took it, said thank you, and away we went. I have that video, that picture, by the way, posted on my Facebook, but I have since lost the actual photo, so I just have a lot of copies of it online. And got in the car the next day, drove back to Missouri from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And when I got there, first thing I did, I noticed that the answering machine, that's right, the answering machine. If you don't know what that is, it's just because I'm older than Yoda. Alright? So the answering machine is just blowing up. So I click it. First message, my Aunt Helene. She says, Eddie, I just wanted to call you, and I haven't heard from her in a decade. I don't know how she has my number in Missouri. I want to call you and let you know that your father died today, and funeral services will be, and she gives me the information. So, if you're not a believer in us all being tied together, and all life being tied together, if you're not a believer in the supernatural, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe that was a completely random circumstance. But I don't know, all I know is I woke up and I knew I had to go visit my father, and I hadn't had that thought in my head basically ever in my entire life. So that's the story of Shorty and my last chance. I hope you enjoyed it, because it's going to parlay itself into talking about the first man that ever purchased me a motorcycle, Pop Warner, who was my real father for all intent and purposes. Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook, like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon on the comment section or any of those other formats. I'm on motovlog.com now as well, and find me so we can talk, man. Reach out, get to know a brother. This your boy, Mr. G, and I'm out. Peace.